The North Wales coast runs in long sandy stretches, broken only by the occasional headland. A flight of 403 steps leads down to the South Stack Lighthouse, completed in 1809. Its light, a single white flash every 10 seconds, can be seen for more than 20 miles away. The lighthouse is not now manned, but operated automatically. South Stack is indented with caves where seals breed, and seabirds nest in ledges on the steep cliffs. Holyhead Harbour near South Stack stands on Holy Island, separated from Anglesey by a narrow estuary-like channel. It owes its importance to the mail and passenger service to Ireland, which has been the principal route since prehistoric times. The harbour of this busy ferry port is protected by Britain's longest breakwater, which is nearly 2 miles long. It makes an excellent point for watching air-sea rescue launches, which practice in conjunction with RAF helicopters from Valley Airfield. Just off the A5 outside Holyhead lies this reserve, comprising some 450 acres, formerly the home of the Stanleys of Alderley. It provides an ideal habitat for field and woodland birds and water birds. It also includes a foreshore along a beautiful coastline, rich in many sea and wading birds. Translated, the Welsh means Hill of the Black Cells. It is a Bronze Age burial chamber. The mark of history lies on the land in its ruins and in its legends. Races more ancient even than the Celts have left their burial chambers. PG, a small village with the longest name, and it means St. Mary's Church in the Hollow, by the White Hazel, close to the rapid whirlpool, by the Red Cave at St. Tysillo. Until the opening of Telford Spine Suspension Bridge in 1826, a remarkable feat of engineering, the Menai Straits had to be crossed by ferry, a passage beset with dangerous currents causing whirlpools at certain states of the tide. The delicate ironwork of Telford Suspension Bridge over the River Conway makes a striking contrast with the solidity of the castle. Conway is a most popular resort and one of the most attractive of Welsh towns, unforgettable for its massive castle above the river. The entire defensive complex is in a good state of repair. It is still possible to walk along the castle's 15-foot thick walls, which were built in the shape of a Welsh harp and are 1 mile in length, with 8 great drum towers and 21 semicircular towers at regular intervals. The castle was begun in the 13th century for Edward I and was the birthplace of the first Prince of Wales. It was involved in the turbulent history of the Middle Ages and the Civil War. Llanroost, a little town on the River Conway spanned by the three-arched bridge, dated 1636 and designed by Inigo Jones. The only major bridge crossing the river until 1826, and the building of Telford Bridge at Conway. At the west end of the bridge stands an old courtroom. During the months of June to August, the farmers come down from the fields and people gather from miles around for some may be the only time they get away from the farm to come to the show. Many participate in local shows and display their stock. There are numerous classes: mare and foals, shire horses, cobs, bulls and cows of various breeds like Herefords, Friesians, Charolais, etc. For many, the show jumping is the main attraction. Beginning with the youngsters, many no doubt aspire to becoming the Caroline Bradleys or Harvey Smiths of the future. The older ones who still hope, but realize the hope is in vain. In any event, all endeavor to win the coveted rosette. Whatever the aspirations, it makes a good day out for old and young. The grand parade of proud winners led by the Clydesdale Shire horses. This remarkable building, wrongly called a castle, was for many years the principal seat of the influential Wynn family. It was built in the 15th century. Many additions were made in the next 100 years. Unfortunately, it was burnt out in this century and restored to its present appearance. A muster of 50 peacocks live in the grounds. It is not unusual to see the stern and sombre countryside of Wales explode into joyous beauty. It breaks upon you dramatically and then is sustained for mile after sweeping mile until abruptly you come to a place so exquisite, where you are in solitary, lovely country, edging your way along the secret stream. Faces out over a broad sandy bay, speckled with rocky islets. Pilgrims would make this perilous crossing to the holy island of Bardsey and St. Mary's Abbey, where it is said many holy men are buried. This was where they rested before making the perilous crossing. Carnarvon Castle, built by Edward I, overlooking and dominating the Menai Straits, and moated on its landward side. A massive castle, some 3 acres in extent, and formed part of Edward's plan to control this difficult part of Wales from the sea. Little but the outward shell remains, but walk round the battlement walls, visit its 13 towers and 2 impressive gateways. It was here in 1969 Prince Charles was, in an ancient and colourful ceremony, invested as Prince of Wales in the grassy courtyard of the castle. Quarrymen's cottages built in the 1840s. Slate mining at the Oakley mine began in 1755 and ceased in 1971, opening as a tourist centre in 1974. The Vale of Festiniog is a slate quarrying district. The town of Blaau-Festiniog grew around the industry. Unfortunately, many of the mines have closed down, some reopening as a tourist attraction. Before embarking into the Safari Land Rover, visitors are equipped with miners' helmets and lamps. Ascending to the floor number 11, you enter chamber 15. It was difficult to imagine the men working by candlelight, and as they worked, they could only guess at the magnitude of their cathedral-like chambers. En route, the guide tells of the working conditions and practices, and that the mine has not been especially prepared for the general public. Portmadoc, a small industrial town and slate shipping port at the mouth of the Llangollen River, built on reclaimed land in the 19th century. In 1821, Parliament consented to the construction of a harbour. The town may be said to have come into existence from that date. Locally built sailing ships took slate to many parts of the world. Located in the old slate wharf, the Portmadoc Maritime Museum, where one can board the historic old trading ketch, Llangollen stone, one of the last survivors from the days of sail. The harbour is overlooked by the Festiniog Railway, originally opened in 1836 to transport the slate from the mines. Now the oldest narrow-gauge railway. The line runs 10 miles inland. It climbs on the ledge on the hillside through the Vale of Festiniog, giving some of the finest views obtainable from a carriage window in Britain. The train carries thousands of holidaymakers through some of the finest scenery in Wales. A full journey takes 50 minutes each way. If the spirit of revival is working full steam anywhere in Britain, it is in the railways of Wales. Railway preservation came to life here 30 years ago. It is here it lives on. Steam is at home here. It is part of the landscape. It has the happy knack of bringing together lines built to carry quarry tiles, now serve holidaymakers. The spirit of the great little railways is in turn captured by these scenes on the Festiniog Railway, and keeps the hills alive with the sound of steaming. Lunch, lovingly restored and ready for action, the picture of business-like activity. Above Cannyville, the railway has to get to grips with nature, but from the comfort of a railway coach, no one can deny the views are fantastic. The old toll house at Llangollen, built by Telford. It's an old town on the River Dee in the beautiful Vale of Llangollen, described by George Barrow in Wild Wales, and stands in a sheltered valley. The river is spanned by a fine 14th century bridge, regarded as one of the 7 wonders of Wales. A narrow canal winds round the hillside above the town, built by Telford, used for the carriage of goods. Now you may idle away the time in boats, comfortably fitted up and drawn by ponies from the canal wharf. Chirk Castle, standing in Parkland, home of the Middleton family since 1595. The magnificent archway in the front leads between 2 drum towers into a quadrangle. Sir Thomas Seymour, who married Henry VIII's widow, Catherine Parr, and Robert Dudley, Elizabeth I's favourite, were granted this border castle, which was in the gift of the Crown for 280 years, from its completion in 1310, during the reign of Edward II. An extremely strong fortification, the west wall was considerably damaged by cannon during the siege by Richard Cromwell's forces, August 1659. The gardens are beautifully laid out, and Offa's Dyke can be traced across the park.